Brodes Media.
I'm very confident, as I should be. We have a formula that is so hard to stop, borderline impossible. And while the Commanders have a quarterback that is generating buzz league-wide, there's no way that is going to scare me. Not that he can't ball. I think he looks legit as hell this season. No doubt about it. But, hear me out. Aaron Rodgers and his prime was special. Nobody can argue that, right? Special. He lost playoff games. Tom Brady didn't win every single season. Peyton Manning, the best of the best of the best of the best, failed in playoff moments. If that's the case, when a Jaden Daniels, is going up against a team this lethal at home in an NFC championship game, while I respect what their quarterback has accomplished so early in his career and in his first go-around, it is unique, for sure. But if the best to ever do it have failed in playoff moments, I'm damn sure going to believe that Jaden Daniels can fail as well, especially when he's going up against a defense like this. And spare me that he had an awesome fourth quarter when these two teams met previously, because that game was coming off of, first off, the Eagles winning 10-plus games in a row. So eventually you are going to have a slip-up. 2, 11 snaps in, you're on your backup quarterback. And 3, hey, good for you. You got it once. What are the odds you can do that against a defense this special twice? So I'm not shaking in my boots a lick. I feel we have the better team. I believe we have the better coaching staff. I believe we have home field advantage, which plays a massive role in winning these games. And we're not on our 50,000th IR defensive player. Holy shit, that was awful. We don't have as many banged up guys on the defense as the Detroit Lions do. I feel great. I feel great. And Shannon Sharp on First Take, I'm not going to say described it perfectly to a T, because I don't necessarily agree with everything he's saying about our passing game. But wait until you hear what he had to say about our generational running game that is unstoppable. Because what we're doing, I don't know if it truly has settled in. The level of dominance that Saquon Barkley provides. Sure, we scream, we dance, we go nuts whenever he runs it to the house. And we expect it because it's every single week, multiple times a week. But when you really process what he's doing, this team's offense, this wins Super Bowls. This elite style of explosive plays wins Super Bowls. Whether those explosive plays happen to be in the passing game or the run game, why does it matter? Explosive plays are effective no matter which way they come. You can load the box as much as you want. And guess what? It doesn't stop anything. If anything, once you realize the rough angles you take are going to exploit your holes. Whoo! Saquon goes 78. Saquon goes 82. Saquon goes 65. And there's nobody back there to help out. Let's listen to Shannon Sharp. Here he is. Well, maybe I should have everything prepared prior, because that did not play through my headset. All right, let's give it a whirl.
Yeah, because you can't stop the run.
I'm in my first Super Bowl.
Let me preface it by saying I suck at this. Are the Eagles and their offense, can the offense win a Super Bowl? Whew, I'm sorry, I'm out to lunch.
Yeah, because you can't stop the run. I'm in my first Super Bowl. John, they'll go back and look at those stats. Well, if you can't stop TD, you can't beat us. I used to tell, it got so bad, Stephen A. and Dio, I used to tell guys, if y'all stop TD, we'll throw the ball. If y'all don't stop him from running, we're not going to throw it. And right now, no one can stop them running the football. That offensive line is doing what they do. They're a dominant offensive line. They're one of the 2 or 3 best offensive lines in football. Not only can they pass block, but it's a pleasure. It's a joy for them because they really wanted Saquon to get that record also because they would have been immortalized. They would have been in the record book for immortality. But it didn't happen. But look at these holes that he's running through. Why would I ever want to have Jalen Hurts to drop back and throw the ball when so many things can go wrong? As opposed to just turn around and hand it off to him, and he hit his head on the goalpost from 60 yards. 4 of those runs, 4 TD runs against the Rams, covered at least 60 yards, guys. Do you understand how hard that is? This is an NFL team. So, yes, this offense is good enough. You're going to have to make them beat you with their weakness. I believe their weakness is throwing the football. But if you keep playing to their strength, letting them run the football, yes, they can run themselves to a Super Bowl victory. Yes, they can.
They can run themselves to a Super Bowl victory. There's no doubt about it. My thing is, people aren't playing into their strengths. Trust me, when you game plan for the Philadelphia Eagles, you are making sure you are trying to stop 26. It's just impossible to stop 26. That's the difference. And yes, their passing game is their weakness when you compare it to all their other strengths. But I do believe if there is magically somehow a way to slow down Saquon a bit, and we've really only seen maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers do it, and I don't believe the Commanders' rush defense can. Okay? They are at the bottom of the league. They get torched. They get annihilated. So if they feel they can stack the box and their personnel could do something that they haven't done all year long, as we are essentially, 5-6 months into this damn season? September, October, November, December, January. 5 months into this damn season, all of a sudden the Commanders are going to have what it takes and have the personnel and structure to stop a run game. They haven't. Yet they're going to stop the best run game, not only in the league, but in centuries, in decades, in the world. This is the best run game we've seen. There's no way. But teams have tried. They just can't. So let's imagine a world where somehow they do. They won't, but they do. Well, it's going to take a lot of men in that box. When that's the case, this passing game will no longer be a weakness because the matchups that are available off of that, they are going to be so depleted in other areas to stop this passing game with A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith. That's why the Pittsburgh game passing was so strong. They were able to when they had to. And when they have to, they can. But there's no reason to go that route until the Commanders prove that over a long period of time, they can shove Saquon down to the ground. And what also makes this really special, too, this run game is even if there's 5, 6, 7 carries in a row that don't necessarily wow us, all it takes is one. It takes one breakaway free rush to the house for 55 yards. So, honestly, even if there is a way, which there isn't, where he doesn't have the production that we expect, you keep handing him the rock because eventually you'll go. You'll go all the way. And then you'll see in the replay, Lane Johnson put his hands up and celebrate with Jordan Mailata while there's, 25 yards of open green grass in front of Saquon as he's celebrating with the crowd because nobody's even close to him. Nobody's an inch close to his body. So my question is, I don't understand why. And why does it bother people that these explosive plays are happening and occurring in the run game? If you're having the same amount in the passing game, it would be viewed differently. If these big touchdowns and these awesome, incredible, huge, game-breaking plays are happening with AJ and Jalen instead of Jalen and Saquon and the offensive line, it would change the perception. In a way, hear me out. There was probably a time where teams in the NBA wondered, all right, Steph Curry's an outlier. Can you survive by jacking up that many threes? But when you are as extremely talented as Steph Curry is, the answer is obviously fuck yes. Because he does it at a level that nobody else does. Now, unfortunately, you got 28% shooters from behind the arc trying their very best to duplicate it, and that is no bueno, okay? But when you have something that sticks out like a sore thumb and is different than everybody else, when he first came in the league from Davidson and he was starting to destroy people nonstop, there were questions on how this works, how this happens. And it has to be the first. At some point, someone needs to be the first to do it at that crazy clip. Well, Saquon is essentially Steph Curry. Saquon's different than everybody else. So if other teams running the rock can't do it as efficiently as him, who cares? He can. And this team is doing it where their explosive plays happen to be on the ground, and they are different than everybody else, and they're doing it in a way where everyone wonders, I don't know, is it sustainable? Can you do it forever? Yes! Steph Curry proved it, and now Saquon Barkley and the Eagles are going to prove it. And it takes something different. It takes something rare. It takes something that is so elite that it only comes around a couple of times. A special athlete like Saquon Barkley. But guess what? That's what we have. So when you apply the dialogue around does this work? It's not does this work from a grand scheme of things. Does this work if you apply the same method to a Tennessee Titans with Ryan Tannehill, not the same defense, not the same offensive line with Derrick Henry? Not can you apply this to a team that has Le'Veon Bell, let's say, back when Le'Veon, how about that? I pulled that out of my ass. Le'Veon Bell. No. Does it work with Mailata, Lane Johnson, Cam Jurgens, Dickerson, Jalen Hurts, Mekhi Becton, Saquon Barkley? Yes. And by the way, the defense still needs to respect A.J. Brown and Devontae. Yes. Yes. So, I mean, I love the way Unc described it. I really do. I think he laid it out very nicely from the running game department.